say who they are, all of the information about this weekend, data sources, and also particularly for tomorrow where you will put whatever you build over the course of the next 24 hours is on the Hacker League website, which you can get to by going to this link here.
And I want to have a sound operated app which will help me get a personal best every time I go for a run. What is that? Bank!
Bank. 23 minutes 32 seconds. That's 17 seconds slower than last time.
If you're getting slow, it might come up with a random comment occasionally and say something like this.
Come on, Daddy, try harder!
Which is my 10-year-old on his bicycle behind me, exalting me to just perform a bit better. My destination is Old Street. When I get there, all I have to do is say, end.
End. 27 minutes 58 seconds. That's good. Well done.
My name is Makoto. So I decided to do some data visualization. So I decided to kind of flip the relationship rather than like showing the visual stats depending on like what stage of the sports. Maybe I should let visualization to control what I want to watch. That's the whole concept. So what it means like, then rather than just watching, I know like this time not really anything happening. So let them, why don't I just like, move to this one. So like it just moves to the point where I am interested. So that's one of the, these are the points where events are happening. So, and then if I am Manchester City fan, I don't really care about this QPR's only moment. I just want to watch Manchester City. So, if I just go, press this, it just skips all these traps. Hopefully. Yes. Right? And then so like I can pinpoint, I can remove all the kata out, and I want to focus on only the things I want to watch.
So the thing we're really interested in is how the crowd contribute to a football match and the success of their team.
So I can imagine we can actually play the same kind of thing by player and see which players are affected more by the crowd, and kind of have start investigating the individual songs, so which songs work better to motivate them.
I mean, I think I have seen like circular representations of time and matches like this before, but I mean, there's this, just from an information visualization point of view, you're squashing the stuff in the middle, squashed relative to the stuff on the outside. I think with the wiper that begins to make more sense as you see the kind of you can kind of see the animation of the ball.
My name is Thomas. I created some nice hack yesterday. When you start our application, this is Serie A, so this is for Italy, for Italian league. You can see Serie A, all the teams, this is already there in App Store and in Android Market. Here you see a game page, a game between Udis and Juventus. This is already broken. You can vote for winner, and we added a new feature. When I type a comment on Android, the ad jumps above the keyboard. It's very nifty. So people have to click ads for us to make money. I really love it. Thank you.
We started, or we tried to build a small little app that we call Footy with Friends, which is basically a way to play a game with your friends while you're watching a live football game, which is similar to another app we heard about. What was it called? Player?
Star Player.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that before we
decided to try it anyway.
So the idea is sort of a second screen experience that it's not really a massively involved game, but something you can just sort of play along with your friends. It's a way to sort of challenge your friends. If you're a Man United supporter and you might challenge your Man City supporter. So the idea is that you obviously find your friends, you select your fixture, and before the game starts, you make a few
predictions about the game. So some of the sort of things up there, you might think that Man U are going to score 3 goals, and City only 1, and that we're going to be first to score, and a few different sort of easy to sort of understand stats. So I've thought about a few different visualizations. I think obviously time is a great one that other people sort of picked up on, the idea of a radial sort of clock idea, where we plot what's happening and what predictions have been made and who sort of won or who's made a correct prediction. We do have a demo, but I would recommend it was a classic case of overreaching ourselves.
Everybody seems to be doing lots of useful things, so I was just completely useless. I think the point of it is more, it's like, if you jump off the next slide, I think for us the idea was, we've got all this data, and it's all really cool and really useful, and kind of let's try something completely different. So, and this idea that data is always provided us with the cold hard facts, but can we give it, can it give us more than that? So can we maybe create some kind of art of some type, is it audio, is it visual, kind of something kind of a bit interesting? Data goes into shots from inside the box, shots from outside the box, crosses, completed crosses, dangerous crosses, key tackles. There's like so many different ways you can do it. So we kind of looked at it very simply as kind of possession, defense, attack, and then game elements. So the possession was it a pass, and was it completed or was it not completed? Defense, was it a tackle, was it, did they win the ball, did they not win the ball? And then the attack is, it was a shot, was it a goal, was it not a goal? So it's kind of super simple and stripped back, and I think this is something that you could push. There you go. This is kind of, you can imagine this taking longer, maybe the sounds are more richer, but I think it kind of gets the idea across. If you've got this underlying music in the background, that helps build up, and you can kind of, I just think it's kind of an interesting kind of bit of art, really.
So audio in HTML is actually still quite problematic, hence you've got bleeps. We could have had a soundtrack in the background that I couldn't get WAVs to play. So yeah, that was it.
So
audio was awesome.
So that's kind of like the Sergio Aguero kind of art piece based around that, but I think what's kind of interesting is, if you imagine if you take all of that data from Optima and you have all of the different parts with all different shapes and all different sounds, and then you put them all together, and then, so we've got this one, we've got Yo-Yo Torres as well, which Dennis has done, and then we've also got the two pushed together. So if all of a sudden you've got 11 players and you put them all together, and it turns into this hour and a half of actual kind of performance music based exactly on what the actions were on the game, and I think that could be really interesting based on how much you push it.
Thanks everyone for coming up with some great stuff. For us, I think we just went through everything, and I think where we landed was there was 2 really strong kind of standout winners that I think we'd like to recognize for today. The first is Makoto. I think what you did was quite brilliant in that, like, navigating it based on menu, based on player, based on information. Quite useful. You can see that being useful in a lot of different ways, not just for a fan, but also maybe even an internal. It also feels like it's very cross-category, so it wouldn't just be